answers you've provided about your body shape, your cravings, and the symptoms you've described, your weight loss type is what's known as type A. Now, in case you're wondering, type A weight loss type has nothing at all to do with type A personality. Instead, the A in type A stands for a hormone known as adiponectin. And the reason why is because type A people have a tendency to have an abnormally low level of adiponectin. In fact, this would be consistent with what you've told me about your body and symptoms. You see, a low adiponectin level is one of the biggest things that can make losing weight such a challenge for type A people. And the reason why is because when it comes to losing weight, adiponectin is actually a hormone you want. It's a good hormone. It's literally the hormone that tells your body to specifically burn fat for fuel instead of sugar or muscle tissue. In fact, multiple studies have shown the more adiponectin you have circulating in your bloodstream, the more fat you burn. It's really as simple as that. But if you're a type A person, which means you likely have a low adiponectin level and you're struggling to lose weight, one of the most frustrating things for type A people is that the more fat you have, the lower your adiponectin levels tend to be. Which is why losing weight for type A people in particular can be so difficult at the beginning. As a type A person, what you need to do is to give your body an adiponectin kickstart to get things going. The good news is by taking a few simple steps, you can actually raise your adiponectin level. And you can do it starting minutes from this very moment. In fact, I'm going to show you how in just a second here. But first, as a type A person, there's one last thing you need to know about your hormones, and that's this. What's interesting about most type A people with a low adiponectin level is that there's also a tendency for 3 other hormones to be out of balance in your body at the same time. And those hormones are ghrelin, insulin, and cortisol. It's something I like to call the type A domino effect. And I'm going to explain what that means for you in just a moment. But first, let's get to the single most important question, which is this. As a type A person looking to lose weight, when it comes to your diet, exercise, and lifestyle choices, because type A people are somewhat unique in what they need to do, what should you do differently compared to other people with other weight loss types? Well, what I'm going to do for you right now is walk you through 3 of the 10 specific things I recommend for type A people, specifically who want to lose weight and keep it off, which you're going to want to combine with a nutritious low-calorie diet and regular exercise to get the fastest results possible. Of course, you should always check with your doctor to get the thumbs up before starting any weight loss program. But in case you're wondering, the reason for just 3 things is because I want to focus on what's most important and what can help give type A people the biggest, fastest results. So pay close attention to what we're about to cover here. In fact, if you're like most people, you might even want to jot down a few quick notes. And by the way, if you're interested in getting access to my entire list of recommendations for type A people for free, I'll explain how to do that in just a moment. But first, without further delay, let's get right to it. The first thing I recommend for type A people is to start eating 3 specific foods, and you might want to write these down. The 3 foods are green olives, macadamia nuts, and Hass avocados. And the reason why is because these 3 specific foods have some of the highest concentrations of one thing you really want to pay attention to in your diet, monounsaturated fat. Now, if you're a person with a type A weight loss type, you might be wondering, what's the big deal with monounsaturated fat? Well, the reason why it's so important is because studies have shown when you eat a diet rich in monounsaturated fat, it can actually raise your adiponectin levels. That fat-burning hormone you need to get flowing through your bloodstream if you want to start burning more fat. In fact, in a recent study, people were asked to consume 3 different diets in random order for 6 weeks. One diet was high in carbs, one high in protein, and one was high in monounsaturated fat. And listen to this, in just 6 weeks, when they ate the diet high in monounsaturated fat, they had significantly higher levels of adiponectin than when eating either of the other 2 diets. And by the way, I know this all sounds a little counterintuitive, that if you want to burn fat faster, that you need to eat more fat. But remember, we're talking specifically about monounsaturated fat only. This doesn't mean you can go crazy and start eating donuts and French fries. You need to target foods specifically high in monounsaturated fat. And once again, 3 of the best foods in the world for that are green olives, macadamia nuts, and Hass avocados. The second thing I want to talk about has to do with exercise. Because if you're a person with type A weight loss type, and you've either tried to exercise in the past, or if there's something that's prevented you from exercising, whether that's a physical condition or something else, I want to explain that as a type A person, what you want to be doing differently when compared to people with other weight loss types. The biggest mistake type A people tend to make is that they follow what almost everybody else is doing. Medium to long distance, low to moderate intensity cardio. Whether that's walking, jogging, or using a treadmill at the gym. Now, don't get me wrong here. Walking is certainly better than sitting on a couch watching TV all day. But, as a type A weight loss type, instead, what can actually make more of a difference when incorporated in the right way is lifting weight. That's right, lifting weight. To lose weight. I know this sounds counterintuitive, right? But I'll explain the reason why in just a moment. But first, just to be clear, I'm not talking about crazy bodybuilder weightlifting. I'm talking about basic weightlifting or resistance training that practically anybody can do. Now, as a type A person, here's why this is so important. Let's say, for example, you're already doing some sort of high-intensity exercise. Research shows that simply adding a little resistance training, in other words, weightlifting, to whatever routine you're doing right now, and doing it just 3 times a week can actually increase your adiponectin level. Now, the key is, and you might want to write this down, each time you lift weights, you want to do 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions, and you want to increase the weight each time. So, in other words, you want to start with set number 1, increase the weight. Then go to set number 2, increase the weight again, and then go to set number 3. Does that make sense? Now, here's the thing. I know for many people with type A weight loss type, because they have something that prevents them from exercising or doing it regularly, they aren't able to incorporate resistance training into their lifestyle. So, who am I? As I said, my name is Steven Siskind, and I'm a licensed physician. I received my MD from one of the top medical schools in the country, Baylor College of